in empowerment things that take people out of the mentality of blaming and complaining and victimization. And this for me is the biggest issue. People becoming victims of the circumstances and saying that we can do and should do and will do something about it. It is not about joining Holy Land Trust. It is not about joining a certain movement and so on. It is about people getting out of their homes and engaging in action. And for me, what I wanted to say earlier was that for me it is not just about the acts of resistance. Yes, it can be protests, sit-ins, demonstrations, visuals, many things can be involved in this thing. But it has to have also another intention, which is the intention of healing, that so far, in my opinion, has not existed either in negotiations or in the non-violent movement in Palestine. And as a Palestinian, I say it is very important for us to engage in actions and activities that also address the trauma that exists also within the Israeli Jewish community. The trauma from our violence, the trauma from our violence, as well as, in my opinion, what I feel is important, that needs to be addressed even by Palestinians, which is the trauma of the violence of the past that the Jewish community has also experienced.
Internalize it.
Yeah, and this is not something that is easy to talk about, especially within the Palestinian community. And as I said before, because they feel that we are the victims. We are the victims of the victims. You know, we are the victims of the people that have been the most victimized in the world, the Jewish community. It's not about even denying the Holocaust within Palestine. It's actually recognizing what happened in the Holocaust and saying, look at us. We are now suffering because of what happened to them, and they are the ones that are doing this. And as if we are seeking more pity from the world and more sympathy from the world by making such declarations. And this is where I see the first step of empowerment for Palestinians is when we begin to think in a way that what can we do? And recognizing that every single act of violence that we do is one that jeopardizes not only the potential for peace, but also enhances the trauma of fear and insecurity that exists within the Jewish community itself. This is why, for me, I've been very critical, even in the past, of acts of violence done because of this issue. And it took me to a new level when recently, in the last few years, I've taken 2 trips to Poland, to Auschwitz, to Birkenau, and to be a witness to the death camps, to the suffering that has happened there in these areas, and to realize that a lot of it has not ended there. A lot of it continues, at least in the mindset, in the rhetoric of fear that exists within the Israeli Jewish community, and enhanced by acts of violence done by us Palestinians, by rhetorics like the president of Iran and all of these people that make these claims and these statements that they do. So for me, and this is what I will end with, is saying that it is very important for us as Palestinians to take charge of this. There is an occupation, there is an injustice that we face, there is land grab that continues, there is discrimination, there is violation of human rights by Palestinians. All of these things we cannot use and say and put us in a place of just being victims and seeking pity. It is very important from us to be engaged in actions and activities that resist all of this injustice that we face. But at the same time, the only way to resist injustice is for us to also be involved in the things that will heal the trauma and the fear that exists within the Jewish community itself. And with that, I wish